once you go through cancers, it kind of changes your perspective on life just a little bit, and sometimes it's hard to explain, but it definitely does change you.
Randy Grudle has survived not one, but 2 cancers. Cancer of the colon, followed a year later by cancer of the kidney.
Of course, I used to be a workaholic, you know, and I'll take more time, you know, stop and smell the roses maybe, you know, that old saying, or take a little time off, you know, go do things that I probably wouldn't have before.
Randy, his wife Debbie, and their son Eric farm outside Sydney, Iowa.
Well, been farming a long time. My dad got me some ground to rent when I was a freshman in high school, and I'm now 59 years old, so that'd be about 45 years actually involved in farming. It's the only thing I've ever done. And today we farm approximately 1,700 acres with my son and my wife, a family operation.
Randy kept busy and didn't give much thought to his health, despite a recurring symptom.
For a couple of years, I was passing blood in my stool. You know, noticed it, no big deal. Kind of, you're on the tractors in the spring and fall, and that's when it kind of was occurring. So, you know, I finally went to the local doctor and had a little checkup, and had a colonoscopy run, and my birthday's in February, so my 50th birthday present was the first surgery. So, they set up the colon resection and took out 8 inches of the colon, you know, that's fine. And then I had a lymph node come back positive. So, you know, between the two, and it was time to take chemo for a year. So that was the first round of cancer. Yeah, after the surgeries, we started to do chemo at Heartland Oncology. Monday mornings, once a week for a whole year. That was the treatment that we wound up with.
It was the beginning of a long journey for Randy and his wife Debbie, who will never forget her reaction to Randy's cancer diagnosis.
I was scared to death. My mom had died of cancer when I was 6 years old. So to me, when I heard that he had cancer, that's what was going to happen. So I was scared to death. I didn't want to lose my soulmate.
Debbie's love and support made all the difference to Randy, who worried about the toll this journey was taking on her.
You know, physically it's the toughest on the patient, but I think emotionally it's probably the toughest on the spouse. And, you know, because they feel helpless. There's nothing they can do. Everybody's always worried about the patient. But really, you know, the friends and relatives, I think, should worry more about the spouse, because it's really a lot tougher on them. You know, because we got doctors taking care of us, but there's nobody taking care of the spouse.
Being a city girl, you know, growing up in the city and now living on the farm, you get obstacles along the way. And we just knew we had to do what we had to do. So every Monday I made the trip with him. I didn't want him to go by himself.
Randy and Debbie forged a special connection with the oncology nurses who helped ease the rigors of chemotherapy.
I always knew them by their first name. I didn't know them by their last name. You know, it was Mary, and Mary, and there's still a special group to this day. I still go back, you know, once, twice a year for checkups, and I'll take them a jar of salsa, or we make our own deer salami. I'll take them up a salami stick, and I'm always taking them something, because I'll never forget those gals. They got us through it and made it as easy as it could be.
Randy made light of every challenge, joking with the nurses about the loss of his sense of taste that made only 2 foods palatable: cherry cheesecake and banana splits.
I think I lost probably a total of 50 pounds through the whole procedure, you know, and you kind of get down to skin and bones, and you lose all your muscle, and you think, wow, you know, I'm wasting away. But the nurses got a little chuckle out, you know, or I did. I said, well, you know, they'd ask me, well, what'd you eat this week, you know? And I said, well, nothing. I eat banana splits 2-3 times a day. That's all I can get down. I said, I still lost 12 pounds. Oh, yeah, right. Only a man could do that. Eat banana splits all week long and lose weight. So, you know, we had a little fun with it also.
Randy and Debbie eagerly anticipated completing the year of chemotherapy. They celebrated with a Caribbean cruise and hoped they could put their cancer worries behind them.
Yeah, we got through round one, and you know, of course, you're going in for that last or the next checkup, and you're hoping that, yeah, you're cancer-free and we're done with it, and you know, and we're sitting in the office. And he says, "Yep, colon cancer's fine. It's gone. You know, we don't need to worry about that. We'll do so many checkups, you know, from here on out. But oh, by the way, we've been watching a spot on your kidney. Lo and behold, there was no chemo this time around for your kidney. No chemo, no radiation, but just the surgery. So here we go again, the second spring in a row that they took away from me."
Dr. Trainer did a wonderful job.
Yeah.
Very lucky because it hadn't gotten into the filtering part of the kidney. So that really, it was all a blessing. It all happened for a reason. And they keep a close eye on him and do a good job of that.
Randy has won both battles against cancer and is happily living life to the fullest.
To have two different cancers 2 years in a row, back to back, and getting back to the luck thing, I was fortunate enough to find both of them early. Life is short, so we kind of, I guess you could call it a bucket list. There's things that you'd like to do, and we make time now to make sure that we do a few things. So we've went on a lot of different vacations and saw a lot of different things, and you know, we've been to Hawaii and always wanted to go there, and bought a motorcycle. We've been to Canada, never been to Canada before, and destination that year was Niagara Falls, and so that was a bucket list.
For Randy, cancer was a turning point to be faced with humor, optimism, and courage.
It is a big shock when you hear that cancer word. You know, it's just another obstacle that, you know, it's a bump in the road, however you want to explain it, but you don't want to give up. You don't want to give in to it at all. Oh, well, we're just going to deal with it and get on with it and get this year over with it, and then we can get on with life.